Okie dokie. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. I do have some exercises today that we have not done before. So if there's anything that's new to you, or you don't get it, we can always talk about it after class, go over it together at another time. Just want to make sure that it all works for you. So we're going to start with knees. So pretty simple. I think everybody knows how to do high knees. And really the important part here is that we're trying to get our heart rate up a little bit, but we're also trying to loosen up our hips a bit, and warm up, get limber, right? So we're going to do this for about a minute. Really try to get those knees high if you can. If high knees don't work for you, you can feel free to do butt kickers, but we are going to do that right after this. Jumping jacks, whatever you got to do. I am not offended when people change the exercises, because I am one of those people where I go to a workout class and I'm like, this kind of hurts my ankle, I'm going to do something different. So feel free to switch it up if you need to. So we have about 10 more seconds here. And I'm just going to make sure, so keep moving. I'm going to make sure everybody's muted, just because it really does help with being able to hear me. So we're going to go right into butt kickers. So now, kicking your butt if you can, loosening up those quad muscles. We do have some hip thrusters, which are just kind of like a mini squat. It's like a mix between a kettlebell swing and a squat. And then we also have some side lunges. We want to make sure that our quads are nice and limber. 10 more seconds here. We're going to go right into toe touches with a small back bend. 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to keep my feet apart, and I'm going to come down to the center, hold it here for about 3 seconds. And then I'm going to reach my hands to the ceiling, slight back bend, look at the ceiling behind you, and fold forward again. And we're going to do this 5 times. 3, 2, 1, up, and down, and up, and down. 2 more times. Up. Last one, down, and up. All right, so some neck rotation. So we're going to drop our chin to our chest, roll our head all the way back. Try to keep those shoulders down. So I'm reaching my hands or my fingertips toward the floor, and you're going to get a better stretch in the neck. So it doesn't matter which direction you're going. We're going to switch here in a few seconds. Really try to get that chin high, chin to chest, and switch directions. Hear lots of cracking. Totally normal, especially as we age. 3, 2, and 1. All right, big arm circles. So arm circles backwards. So make the circles as big as you possibly can. Warming up those shoulders. You don't have to go super fast unless you want to. It's not wrong. So forward. So big arm circles forward. For 3, 2, and 1, and back into high knees. So stepping, if you want to get your heart rate up a little bit more, you can always jog, high knees. I'm going to start with stepping. We do have some burpees in our first set, which I realize burpees are not for everyone, so I'll give you an alternative exercise for that. 10 more seconds here. And going right into butt kickers. So alternating legs, really try to get that heel to your butt. This one can also turn into a jog. More seconds. And going right into toe touches with a back bend. 3, 2, 1. Reach for the floor and reach for the ceiling. Reach for the floor and up to the ceiling. 3 more times. To the floor, to the ceiling, floor, ceiling, and last time, try to reach for the floor if you can. If not, reach for your shins and back up, small back bend. And we're gonna go into neck rotation. So ear to shoulder, rotate that chin toward the ceiling and down to the chest. So again, doesn't matter which direction you're going, we're gonna switch. Think about reaching your fingertips toward the floor. So I'm really reaching down as I twist and rotate my neck. Let's switch directions. Three, 2, and 1. Big arm circles backwards. Yep, try to get those arms or the hands making as big as you can get, right? So big, big circles. Loosen up our shoulders a little bit here. We do have some rows, triceps and biceps. And we're gonna switch directions. So now I'm gonna go forward. So if you're having problems seeing me, I do encourage you to, hover over my box. There's 3 little dots, and you can pin my video to make me bigger and everyone smaller. And that just helps you see the exercise a little bit more. My eyes are not great, so I find that that really helps me. All right, so that's it for our warm-up. We're gonna start with hip thrusters with a weight. Couple different ways we can do this. If you don't want to use weight, you don't have to. The exercise looks like this. So my feet are at least hip width apart. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back and down, and I'm gonna squat, not all the way, so my quads are not coming parallel to the floor. It's just a mini squat, and then I'm gonna thrust my hips forward, curling the weight up. So it's gonna look like this. So on this one, where I usually tell you not to swing the weight, we're swinging the weight and we're pushing our hips forward. Okay, so we're still in control of that weight. So we're gonna do this for 1 minute. I'm gonna time us. I encourage you to count your reps so that you can at least get the same amount of reps for our second round, okay? So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. So swinging the weight back, curling it forward. So just like our kettlebell swing we did last week, we're really trying to push the hips forward. That's the momentum to curl the weight. Keep the chest up. I want the chest to face me, never the floor. Here you can go as slow or as fast as you want, but if you go super slow, you're gonna be lifting that weight, and the idea is to swing it, power through the hips, power through the quads. We're a little over halfway. So again, I'm not coming into a deep squat. Let's do 4 more together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so before we set that weight down, we are gonna do some bicep curls. Today we're gonna do 3-way bicep curls. So I want you to make sure that you have the appropriate weight for you. 3-way bicep curls look like this. I'm gonna do all the way up, all the way down for 10. Halfway up, down for 10. Third way is all the way up, halfway down. Okay, so we're doing 30 bicep curls. So make sure you have the appropriate weight. So I'm gonna count for us. So starting with the weight at our hips, we're gonna curl all the way up, all the way down for 10. So that's 1, 2. So here we're not swinging the weight. We're controlling the weight, slowly lowering it toward our hips or our thighs. That's 5. Stay with me. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now lowering the weight all the way to our thighs, we're gonna come halfway up and down. So now my forearms are coming up parallel to the floor and then back down. So I'm not bringing the weight all the way up, only halfway. That's 4, 5. Keep moving. Keep those elbows sucked into your side. Don't let your elbows splay out. For 9, last one here, 10. Now bring the weight all the way up, and we're gonna come halfway down for 1, 2, 3, 4. So here the bicep is staying flexed the entire time. Keep moving. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we're going to set these weights down. We're going to go into a side lunge. So for a side lunge, I want my feet pretty far apart. So I'm going to move my feet apart. And then I'm going to stay on one side for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to do the other side. My feet are not moving, so my feet stay here. So I'm going to come down into a side lunge and then back up. So it's up to you to determine how deep you want to go. If this is good, great. If you can come all the way down to get that quad parallel, that's great too. You'll feel a great stretch in your inner thigh. So we're going to go 30 seconds on each side. I'm going to start on my right. So come down. Again, this is timed, so I encourage you to count your reps. So then you're getting an equal amount on each side. Nobody wants to be lopsided. I'm shooting for about 10 on each side in 30 seconds. So I'm going to go 2 more, 2, and 1, and then I'm going to switch. Feet stay planted, other side for 1. I like to keep my hands out in front of me and not on my hips because it tends to keep my upper body upright, so I'm not folding forward. Let's go 2 more. 2 and 1. Okay, so we're gonna go into burpees. People either love them or hate them. Most people hate them. So for a burpee, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna give you a couple different ways to this one. So typical burpee is gonna look like this. We're eliminating the push-up because we will be doing push-ups later. So I'm gonna come down, jump back, jump up, clap. That's the first way. The other way is come down, step, back, step, up, clap. Okay? So if neither of those work for you, I encourage you to go back to maybe, butt kickers, high knees, jumping jacks. Do what works for you. The idea is that we're getting our heart rate up as high as we can in the next 45 seconds. Count your reps. I'm going to do the traditional burpee, no push-up. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So maybe you start here, and then you go to stepping, and that's totally fine. Maybe you start stepping, and then you go to jumping. Or you're doing a completely different exercise, which is also really good. I always kind of want to do abs when I don't like the exercise. So keep it building here. We have about 15 seconds. Last one, and up. Nice work. So we have one more exercise in this round, and then we're going to start all the way over. So for this next one, you will need weight. And this is an exercise that if you have shoulder issues, you might want to change it, okay? So this is a 90-degree rotator cuff. So I'm going to bring my forearms parallel here and then out to the side. So trying to keep that 90-degree angle in your arms, okay? So we're going to go, let's go for 45 seconds, see how many reps we get. So starting here, bring your forearms together and out. So I'm timing us. So what I want you to do is count your reps. Sometimes I lose count. That's okay. I'm usually only 1 or 2 off. Woo! Shoulders are hurting. Let's do 3 more together. For 3, 2, and 1. Woo! That's a great one. All right, we're going to take 90 seconds here. Grab a drink of water. I never drink enough water, but I think the saying is you should drink half of your body weight in ounces a day. So there you go. I'm not going to tell everybody what that is, but you know you. Okay, so we're going to go for our second round here in about 45 seconds, starting with our hip thrusters into biceps, lunges, burpees, and rotator cuff. So try to let your heart rate come down just a little bit. Couple deep breaths. So go ahead and grab your weight. We're going to go into those hip thrusters. We are going for 1 minute. I'm not sure how many you got last time, but try to get the same number, if maybe not 1 or 2 more. So I'm going to do it this way so that you can see my stance a little bit better. We're going to start here in about 10 seconds. I want you to stand up nice and tall, roll your shoulder blades backwards and down. And then from here, go ahead and start with a curl. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. So swing the weight back, push the hips forward. So I'm not squatting all the way down, just a mini squat. This is also somewhat of a tricep exercise as well, especially if you're pushing that weight back and then curling it forward. We're a little over halfway. Let's go 5 together. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bicep burnout. All right, so we're gonna start, palms are up, weight is near your hips or thighs. We're gonna curl all the way up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keeping those shoulders rolled back and down, elbows sucked into your side body. 3 more, 3, 2, and 1. Now halfway up, elbows sucked into the side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weight all the way up to your shoulders. Stand up nice and tall, halfway down, 1. So keep moving. I'm counting in my head, doing the best job I can. Really try to keep those elbows in. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Setting that weight down, going into side lunges, not a ton of rest in between these. We don't have a lot of time, but it's also good for us. So feet are pretty far apart, feet are staying planted. We're gonna go to one side. I'm going to my right for 30 seconds. Again, count those reps, keep the chest up. I find it really beneficial to either look at the screen or look out in front of me, because whenever I look down at my feet, that's when my chest drops forward. Three more together. 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Almost there. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right into burpees. So whatever exercise you're doing, whether it's a step back burpee, jumping, or something else, we're gonna go here this time for 1 minute, okay? So getting that heart rate up as much as we can, kind of our last push before we move to the floor, right? Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. So if this is not enough for you, you can always add the push-up, which just adds a little bit more strength training into this exercise. We do have some push-ups later on, so I'm going to eliminate it for me. A little over halfway. Let's do 3 more together. For 3, 2, last one, 1. Okay. Take a breath, grab your weight. Last exercise, and we'll have a minute and a half for rest. So here, 90-degree rotator cuffs, 45 seconds. So starting up here, 90-degree angle, bring those elbows together and out. So depending on your shoulder flexibility, you'll either be able to come really close, or maybe, you know, you're just here, and that's fine. Again, try to stay with me. We do have a rest after this. Let's do 5 together. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Set those weights down. Grab your water. We are going to be using weights on the floor. Let's see, what do we have? We do have chest flies, tricep kickbacks, and rows. So whatever weight you would like, just make sure that it's here near your mat. So we have about 45 seconds here before we're going to start. We are going to start in our back with a chest fly. Unfortunately, we don't all have weight benches at our house. So we're going to do the best that we can with the chest fly on the floor. So we're probably not going to be able to come out as far as we typically could because our shoulders and our elbows are going to hit the floor. But we will be able to do a chest fly. So last drink of water. We're going to come down onto our back. Make sure that you have your weights here next to you. If you don't, grab them. I'm using 8s, but depending on your strength level, maybe you have a 5, maybe you have 20s. That is not me today. So starting here on your back, I'm going to come all the way down to my back. My knees are bent and my feet are flat on the floor. So I'm going to bring the weight up over my chest. So try to keep it over your chest, not over your face. I'm going to fly out to the side and see here how my arms hit the floor before the weight does. You want a slight bend in your elbows, and then I'm going to squeeze my chest, bringing the weight back up over my chest. Okay? So we're going to go here for a minute. We're going to start now. So head rest on the floor, bringing the weight out till your elbows touch, and then coming back up. Again, I cannot stress enough that you don't want to lock your arms out here. You want a slight bend in your elbow. Really think about the muscle group that you're using. Squeeze the chest muscles to bring the weight back up. Gaze should be at the ceiling, not at me. If you do have your sound on and you just came back into the class, I do ask that you mute yourself because everyone else can hear you. It just gets a little distracting. We're almost there. Let's do 2 together. So out to the side and squeeze up. 1 more. Down and up. Okay, so we have some leg lifts. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you 2 different variations. So here, you can keep your elbows on the ground. The weight stays in your hand. So here, it's weighting down my upper body so that I can lower my legs and bring them back up. You can also use the weight here. Same thing. The other thing that you can do is 1 leg at a time. So starting with my feet up, I'm going to lower 1 leg down, up, opposite. Okay, we're going to do this for 1 minute. So leg lifts for 1 minute, starting in 3, 2, 1. So I like the weight up over my shoulders because I feel like it just weighs my upper body down just a little bit more so that I can really focus on using my lower abdominals to lift my legs up. So at the top, you can bring your hips or your buttocks, tailbone slightly off the floor if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, you can eliminate that. Maybe you're doing a single leg, which is also really great exercise. About 15 seconds to go. If you think about pulling your toes toward your body, instead of pointing them, it'll help you engage those lower abdominals a little bit more. Last one, and down. Okay, so put down one weight. The other weight on our chest. So here, last week we did a crunch like this. This week we're gonna do a crunch here. So weight stays on my chest, feet are flat on the floor, and I'm gonna crunch up, trying to bring my shoulder blades off the floor and then back down. Okay, so it's just a crunch. The weight is on the chest, and we're gonna go for 1 minute starting now. So again, this is a great one to count your reps on. This one always makes my upper abdominal scream in a good way. So the weight should just be sitting on your chest. We're not lifting it with our arms right now. We're lifting it with our abs. And while it seems like this is not like a huge movement, you really are isolating those upper abdominals. We're a little over halfway. Try to get those shoulder blades up. We'll do 3 together. For 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right. So we're going to flip over for some triceps and some rows. So we're going to need our weights for this next one. Let's do this. So let's bring both of our weights here underneath our shoulders. So here, my hips are over my knees, my shoulders are over my wrists. And what I'm going to do, so we're going to start with our tricep kickback first. So I'm going to bring my elbow and suck it into my side. My back is flat, and then I'm going to press my tricep back and then come forward. Okay, so the weight's not coming to the floor quite yet. We're going to go here for about 30 seconds on each side. I'm going to shoot for 10 on each arm. Okay, so pull that weight up, suck the elbow into your side, kick that back. Yep, so see how my upper arm isn't really moving? It's really just my forearm coming back and down. Control the weight here. Try not to swing it. Good. 3 together. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to move to the other side. I'm going to flip around so you guys can see me. You don't need to move. So here, suck the elbow into the side. Kick the weight back. Back should be flat. And your gaze should be between your hands. So you're keeping the spine straight. Try not to swing the weight. Chest is flat. Nice. Let's do 3 together. For 3, 2, and 1. All right. So we're going to go into push-ups with a row. So I'm going to show you the hardest way first, and then give you some variations on what you can do if that does not work for you. So first way is here, starting in a plank. I'm going to come down into a push-up, up, row. So I'm alternating rowing on each side. So if that's not going to work for you, You're going to bring your knees to the floor. Toes are tucked under and touching the floor. I'm going to come down, push up, and row. Okay? If that does not work for you, you're going to stay here, hips over knees, and you're going to alternate rowing. So all are really great. Do what works for you. Okay? So we're going to do 10. If you're just rowing, you're probably going to get about 10 rows on each side. If you're doing a push-up, that means you're going to get about 5 rows on each side. Okay? So I'm going to count here. Try to stay with me if you can. So dropping down, push up, 1 row. It does help to have your feet apart. I did not say that before. Push up, row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All righty. So that's round 1 of 2. So grab a drink of water. 90-second right here. If you're going to move your weights, just make sure that they're accessible. I'm not sure I've ever done a mat round where we've used weights for every exercise. But here we are. So you have a minute to let your breath come down. Grab a drink of water. Make sure you're smiling. This is our last push. And then we'll do some stretching. So for those of you who are new, I am trying to record the workouts, and you can find the workouts on Achieve Tahoe's YouTube channel. So if you go to our YouTube, Achieve Tahoe, you can find many of the workouts, and they're under a playlist called Adapt at Home. So we started this in March when we ended up closing a little bit early. We started doing more virtual programming. And so I've tried to continue to record them and post them on our YouTube channel. Sometimes I forget or it doesn't quite work out, but you can always find some workouts there. So we're going to start back on the floor with our chest flex. So grab your weight. We're going to come all the way down onto our back. Feet are flat on the floor. Weight is over your chest. Slight bend in the elbow. We're going to go for 1 minute here. So fly out to the side. Elbows touch the floor. Squeeze your chest muscles, bringing the weight back over your chest. So if your biceps are sore, you'll probably feel this in your biceps as well. But really think about squeezing those chest muscles and bringing the weight back up. Again, your gaze should be at the ceiling. Try to keep that spine straight. We're a little bit over halfway. So let's try to do 6 together. Okay, so out to the side, squeeze for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. So we're going to bring our feet up in the air. So this is the starting position for this. So you can either have the weight here, elbows resting on the floor, weight's weighing down our upper body, or weight can be here over your chest. Okay, so the weight is just here to weigh down our upper body. We're gonna come down for a leg lift. Lift the hips up off the floor. If that feels good, great. You can also lower one leg at a time, bringing the feet together at the top, not at the bottom. Pull the toes toward your face. I'm a little bit shaky pudding today. It's good. If you're shaking, it means you're really working hard. A little over halfway. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So dropping one weight, other weight comes to your chest. So here I'm only holding the weight with my fingertips because I want the weight to be on my chest. Feet are flat on the floor. You can bring your knees together, and we're going to crunch for 1 minute. So come up, shoulder blades come back to the floor. So squeezing those upper abdominals. Last time I got about 18. I'm going to shoot for 19 or 20. It's always beneficial to count your reps. All right, let's do 6 together. Shoulder blades up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so make your way into a tabletop. So we're bringing the weight right under our shoulders. Our hips are over our knees. Try to keep that back flat, almost like you're pushing your butt out slightly. Okay, so we're going to do 30 seconds on each side. Tricep kickbacks. Try to keep that elbow sucked into the side. Starting now. So kick back almost as high as you can, trying to get the arms somewhat parallel to the floor. Slowly bringing the weight forward. Last 3 together. 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Step the elbow into the side and kick back. So tricep kick back, back of the arm. Keep going. Let's do 3 together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Get those arms out a little bit. Going into a push-up row. So again, whatever variation works for you. Maybe you're on your knees, maybe you're just rowing, or you're doing the push-up in the row, which would be great. So if you are doing the push-up in the row, I encourage you to bring your feet apart, at least as wide as the mat, okay? We're gonna start here. This is our last one for today. Give it all you got. So coming up and down, push up, row 1. Push up, row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Whoa. All right. That was a lot of upper body today. You guys did great. You'll thank me next week. So let's do a little bit of stretching. I'm going to start standing. Catch your breath. Grab a drink of water if you need it. We're going to start with a quad stretch. So grab a wall if you need it. I'm going to grab the top of my foot. Stand up nice and tall. Push those hips forward. Again, chest is open. Roll your shoulders back and down. If you can balance here without a wall, great. I encourage you to do that. Really practice using those stabilizer muscles. So we're going to do twice on each side. So I'm going to switch, grabbing the top of my foot, pushing my hips forward. A couple deep breaths. And switching one more time on each side. And switch. So we're going to do a deep squat stretch today. This is definitely something to practice and get better at it. I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm quite flexible, so it's a little easier for me, but I realize this is not easy for everyone. So we're going to bring our feet more than hip width apart. Toes are slightly pointing outward, and then I'm going to drop my hips between my knees and try to sit my butt toward the floor. So I kind of look like a frog here, right? So I realize that a lot of us are going to be here, and if that hurts your back or any part of your body, then I encourage you to just fold forward. But for those of you who can and have the flexibility, I want you to come down into this deep squat and kind of alternate pushing on one side and the other, and just trying to get your hips as low as you can. Chest should be upright. I realize that if you're tight, you will fold forward here. That's not wrong. This is not an exercise. This is a stretch. So we're going to hold it here for about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to come up and fold forward into a toe touch. So come up and fold forward. You can bounce here slightly if that feels good for you. Not everybody likes the bounce. It should be very gentle. All right, so coming all the way up, we're going to stretch our triceps. So we're going to bring one hand up, over, and back, and down. So like you're patting yourself on the back, use the opposite hand to pull that elbow in and reach your hand down through your shoulder blades. Again, don't forget to breathe. Breathe into the stretch. All right, we're going to come out and switch sides. We're going to do it twice on each side, grabbing that elbow, pulling the hand down the back. And out one more time on each side. So pull that elbow in. And out one more time, opposite side. We're going to do one more stretch, but I encourage you to continue stretching. So for this one, I'm going to bring my hands out to the side. One arm is straight, and I'm going to pull my elbow in and across my body. You should feel a pretty good stretch through the shoulder here, and through the back a little. So try to keep that arm straight. If you bend your elbow, you're not going to feel as much of a stretch. So straighten that arm, pull it in, and we're going to switch. One more time each side. So out and across. And out and across. Alrighty. Well, drink plenty of water, do plenty of stretching. I am going to unmute everyone. Thank you for coming.